and this is Marion Amanambu of the Nigerian Celebrity Network. I've decided to start this series that I'm going to call Pillow Talk, and I'm going to be recording it right from my bedroom and just sharing with you um, life experience. I think I have a lot of them, and even if I don't, I have friends who have gone through different things in their life, and I believe I can share, my perspective on social issues and try to educate as many people as possible and share my personal experiences with them too. And I hope you'll be able to join me like every week for Pillow Talk. I'm sure you'll probably find it useful, and if you can just tell your friends and your families about this video series that I'm starting so people can watch it. And you never know, if I can change one situation or one person's life or make an impact, I think I'll be happy. So that's why I'm doing this series, and today I'm going to kick it off by talking about domestic violence, and from a woman's perspective, because I wouldn't really know what it means for a man to go through that, but my guess is it will be similar type of experience. But I'm gonna be talking from a woman's perspective, and as someone who's been through an abusive relationship myself, I think I can shed a little bit more light to the situation. And I just want to tell anyone out there, any woman or man out there that is going through domestic violence, that is going through some kind of abuse. It could be verbal abuse, it could be emotional abuse, it could be physical, it could be psychological. You never know. This can affect you in ways that you cannot even understand. The effect that it leaves a lasting effect on you. The effect that it leaves on you is devastating to anyone who goes through it. And I really do not think that anybody should be turned into any kind of punching bag, or be talked to in a certain kind of way. I was in a marriage that I went through a lot emotionally, and that has really affected me. And I know it might take a while for me to get myself back together to a point where I can trust somebody else, but I just know that I was able to walk away. I'm one of the few lucky people that walked away with my pride and with my sanity intact, and with my life also. And I think what made it really easy for me also was because there were no kids involved. I mean, how could there be? The stress was just too much, and even the doctor told me, you're going through stress, and whatever stress you're going through, you need to leave that situation. All right, this was in 2010. He told me, I had to leave that situation. I had to like get myself out of that situation. And that got me thinking, because up to that point I really did not know it was abuse. And this is really funny for me to say, because who would say, I mean, everyone would think, oh, of course, we know what abuse is, we know what domestic violence is, but the truth is, when you're in it, when you're going through this, you don't know. Like, you're blind, because you're thinking, oh, this is normal, this is a relationship, and whatever I'm going through, it's normal. And and then it migrates from you thinking it's normal to you thinking, oh, it's my fault, I must be doing something wrong. I know I've been told I'm stubborn, I've been told I have an opinion, but now in hindsight I realize that you are allowed to have an opinion, and you are allowed to be stubborn in a relationship, to believe in something contrary to what your partner or your spouse believes in. But then I didn't know. I just felt like, okay, my God, society expects me to be married. They expect me to be able to keep my marriage. And I did not want a situation where people would say, oh my goodness, she failed. Oh, we knew she wouldn't be able to stay with any man. We knew she wouldn't be able to, oh, no man will want to stay with her, and all this is psychological, you just believe that, and you just live that lie. and allow yourself to go through the abuse of someone yelling at you and talking down at you and calling you all sorts of name and telling you, oh, you're barren, or calling you, oh, you're stupid, or calling you, oh, you think you're smart, you're educated. I'm gonna disgrace you. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna show you that you're nothing, and over time all those words, kind of had a lot, started getting some kind of life in me. Like it started growing, and me believing that really I am nothing. Who am I? And with me believing that, I started isolating myself from all my friends. Like people would call me and I wouldn't pick up the phone because number one, I didn't want them to get embarrassed on the phone, because I knew they probably would get cursed at on the phone, or I didn't want them to. I just felt like, I needed to be by myself. I needed to be a good wife. I needed to be a better woman, and there was something missing and lacking, and I just needed to be a better person. And there the isolation kicks in, and after the isolation, you become like a mental slave to this person, and you're just trying to do everything around pleasing them and going out of your way to do stuff and just trying to please them and trying to please the society. Now, I'm not advocating you to leave your marriage. I'm not saying divorce or separate. I'm not like a huge advocate of that. I'm a Christian. I believe in marriage and staying together and working it out. But I'm just saying there are lots and lots of people out there, and I know you're going through this similar situation, and I know it's applicable to both men and women. I have this friend, a guy, who was married to this girl in New Jersey, and the girl used to beat the crap out of him. This guy was like 6 feet tall, six something, like 6'3" or 6'4", and the girl would slap him around, beat him up, and this guy wouldn't even be able to, do anything about it. And this really affected him, but I'm glad he was able to leave that situation. And I also have a friend who lived in Philadelphia, that the husband would beat the crap out of, and the funny thing is, not even funny, the serious thing about this is she got hit every time in front of her children, and they would see the father beat the crap out of her and leave bruises. Like she would be black and blue from beating from this guy. And how did I know this? Because one day I walked into that situation, and I was just stunned to see that the children were right there, and he was trying to beat the crap out of this woman. And I looked down on those children, and I just said to myself, this is how it becomes a vicious cycle, and then you find out children grow up, and then they want to, they become abusive too, and then they like, oh, they learn from their father or their or their mother, or and now it's a part of them, and then it becomes a social issue. And I just don't think it's fair on the children. I know some people are married and will probably say, oh, it was easy for you to leave because you didn't have any kids. I know some of you have kids out there, but I'm just saying, for the sake of your kids, for your own sake, for the sake of your health. Mine, it affected my health. It really did. And I know there's a lot of women out there that is going through this, and it will affect your health. It will affect your mental well-being as well. And I just want to encourage you. I used to think, okay, you could solve every problem with a prayer. I'm a woman of prayer. I'm a Christian. Pray about it, and it will go away. I used to fast like crazy. I used to pray like crazy. Like I used to fast and pray like every other week, just trying to say, God, please let this cup pass me. I know, maybe this is what marriage is all about, but I've been in relationships that, I've been in a relationship that I know that is not true. You don't have to be physical in a relationship. In my own case, it turned into a situation where I became a wrestler, in my own marriage. And I found myself wrestling every time to defend myself. It got to that point. I had to start, trying to defend myself every time. And man, it got to a point I had to really talk to myself. I knew I was going to die in this marriage. I said to myself, I am going to die. in this marriage. I am gonna die. I'm not gonna make it out alive. But I thank God, it takes a lot of courage, even in the face of social stigma, in the face of, in the face of the harsh reality that it's your marriage, and you don't want to be you don't want to be divorced, you don't want to be single, you don't, and you're afraid, you don't know what the future holds. And so it took a lot of courage for me to walk away and leave everything behind. And I can tell you, it's the most difficult period in anyone's life, man or woman. I left and started from scratch. Like, I lost everything in that marriage. But today, I thank God. Like, you can't even imagine. I'm grateful I was able to pick myself up, walk away, and make something out of myself. And nobody can turn me into a punching bag. Even though I know there's still traces of that sensitivity today. Somebody yells at me, or somebody tries to talk to me derogatory, or talk down at me, it triggers something inside of me, and then I caution myself and say, oh no, you can't do that. I know I still got some traces, but I definitely know that I'm in a better place. I'm happy, and if I can help somebody by encouraging you, if prayer is not working, counseling is not working, man, it's time to pick your bag to get away. Go as far as you can. Leave that situation. It's not even worth it. Your life is way important. If you have kids, you need to be alive for your children. And walking away is the best thing you can do in that situation. I hope I hope somebody will listen. I hope this will help someone. It took a lot of guts for me to video this and talk about my own personal experience, and I know a lot of people try to hide this because there's a shame attached to this thing. There's a shame that, oh my God, people will say, oh wow, she went through that, oh my goodness, she must be a horrible person. But I think it's time for people to know that you can always walk away. There's a situation and there's life after marriage or after separation, and you can move on and not die in that marriage. You don't have to listen to someone who tells you you are no good, because you are. You are some good, and you are a human being, and you are beautiful. Don't let anyone tell you you're not. Don't let anyone tell you you're rubbish, because you're not. All right? I hope I hope I can inspire someone. I hope I can touch someone in a positive way. And like I said, this is not me saying, oh, divorce, or saying, oh, being an advocate for divorce. It's just me trying to tell you, it doesn't have to be an abusive relationship. You don't have to stay in that relationship, and you can move on, and life goes on, and you'll find someone that will love and appreciate you and accept you just the way you are, and you don't have to settle for less. So like I said, this is my first in a series of social issues that I'm going to be talking about personally, that I'm going to call Pillow Talk. And once again, this is Marion Amanambu of Nigerian Celebrity Network. I hope you can, tune in next time. Check out my other videos soon to follow, and I'll talk to you then. Take care. Bye.